Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. This episode is brought to you by CitrusLucy, the creator of our new Haken Artwork. Today, we will be discussing that new Haken Artwork, some scariest moments in Animal Crossing, seeing as Halloween is tomorrow, and some Animal Crossing advertisements that have popped up recently. So to begin, hello Sergio, how you doing?
Hello Chewy, I'm doing quite well. What about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm so full right now. I ate too much dinner. But we will get through that. I'm super excited about this show. We've got a really good plan, I think. Yeah, and a fun question for everybody, for our patrons that we're going to answer at the end.
Yes.
So yeah, let's get started with talking a little bit about the new Haken artwork. And for anybody who listens to the show, you've probably noticed, whether it's YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you like to listen, we have a new piece of art for our show. I guess my first worry was like if people didn't recognize it and just kind of forgot to click. Because before, my artwork was essentially just a picture of my Mii in Miitomo, which that app doesn't exist anymore, but it was a Nintendo app where you designed a Mii, and essentially you could just... It was a weird app. You asked questions and answered questions, and it wasn't like trivia or anything. It was just regular life questions, like what your favorite color is. I don't know. It was weird. Did you play that at all, Sergio?
I mean, I got it when it came out just because of the hype, and I believe there were some My Nintendo rewards when it first came out, but I never really got too much into it now.
Yeah, it's funny because it was the first like Nintendo app that ever existed. So that was pretty interesting. But anyways, let's actually talk a bit about the artwork. So this piece, I commissioned it from CitrusLucy, who is... I actually saw some artwork on Discord from Jam. Their profile pic on Discord is a pretty cute picture of like Isabelle coming out of a Switch. Ooh. And I don't know, I asked her, or I guess I don't know if Jam is male or female, but I asked them whether or not, or who the artist was, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they led me to CitrusLucy, and I was like, I think CitrusLucy is going to make a great piece for Haken. So I contacted her, and typically she actually doesn't take commissions. She made an exception for the show, and specifically because it was Animal Crossing too.
Nice.
She said she doesn't usually take commissions, but for Animal Crossing, she's willing to. That's the power of Animal Crossing there. It brings people together. But anyways, yeah, essentially the only direction I gave her, because I didn't want to be too influential with this piece, I just said what I was looking for, which was a new logo, like the name, and an image that has like our villagers on it.
Right.
So I asked you to send me a picture of your villager on, I guess, Pocket Camp. And I think the good thing about choosing Pocket Camp is you can deck yourself out with all your KK Slider memorabilia.
Right, and a lot quicker. You know, we always have our phones, and you always have your entire outfit collection at your fingertips. Yeah,
my other plan, originally I was just going to, I guess, send over a picture from your 3DS, essentially. Like, I would take a picture of your villager there, because I have your main town, you know?
Yes.
And take a picture of my villager. But the thing is with that is we can't really get, like, the skin tone that we want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it through Pocket Camp. We have a lot of things to use to dress up. And so, yeah, I thought that was fun. I liked your first picture that you sent me.
Yeah.
You're wearing all your KK Slider stuff.
Yes.
And then mine, I love wearing sweaters, so I just put a sweater on, and I was pretty happy with that.
Nice.
Yeah, and some jeans. And I'm glad she caught that you were barefoot, too.
Right. In that's what I noticed, that she really captured the variety in Animal Crossing. Like you said, I'm barefoot. I'm wearing like a t-shirt and shorts, and you're wearing your sweaters and jeans. There's so much variety, in the outfits alone, and the logo captures that. In the spirit of fall, the season, in our favorite villagers, it's all there, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun that she went going with like the autumn season was her choice too.
Ooh,
Like I didn't specify that at all. She was just like, I'm thinking of going with an autumn color scheme, and I said, perfect, do that.
nice.
I'll never be against autumn.
Right.
And so the last thing she did ask me what villagers I would like to see in it, and I don't think I told you my picks before you actually saw it, right?
Right.
Um, so I went with three. I chose the first two were easy.
Right.
Alfonso, I chose for you, Sergio.
Yes.
Just because I remembered all those stories about Alfonso and him being your best friend in New Leaf early on in the game, you know?
Yes. Mhm.
Uh, um, Jackie, I chose Stella for her because Jackie loves Stella. She's always like, "Oh, Stella's so cute. Look at her little sheep face and everything." um, yeah, I think her specific words were, "I'm sorry, I'm just crushing over Stella right now." So those two were easy. Mine, I spent a little time thinking about it.
Mm,
I decided I kind of wanted to capture the villagers that I like in my current Let's Play of the town.
nice. Mhm.
And so right now, my best friend there, I like to consider it my best friend as Leonardo. I guess he's a leopard.
Yes.
Um, he's got kind of the tiger body shape, but I would guess he's a leopard
Right.
specifically. But anyway, so Leonardo is my best friend, but I thought, his color scheme is a little too close to Alfonso.
That's
With
true.
kind of like the yellow type of body and a red shirt, and Alfonso's like a yellowish brown type of body with a red shirt.
Yes.
um, so I decided to go different and chose my second best friend in my current town, and that's Goose, the chicken,
Nice.
not a goose. Um, but yeah, and I think they're adorable. They all look really cute together in this
Yes.
photo. So yeah, I'm just really happy about it. I have put it every single place I could possibly put it. And I'm looking at it right now on my computer. It's just like the desktop background of my
Nice.
computer. So yeah, it's nice. I love it.
Yeah, it turned out awesome. It captures the essence of Animal Crossing, of Haken, and of us and our villagers. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to think like we're both in the same village visiting and, sitting at the town tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I need four characters to sit at the town tree. I just need,
Ooh.
like, when you sit at the town tree, I need other villagers to walk up and sit with you while
Oh,
you're waiting
yes.
there. Because that would be adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun. But anyways, we wanted to keep that portion a little short and get into the next segment. And we're going to be talking about scary Animal Crossing moments. And Sergio, this was your idea, which I thought was great just because Halloween is coming up. But yeah, do you want to go over some scary things that happened to you?
Yes, definitely. And the first one by far is the scariest. So, when I was playing New Leaf, this actually happened within a week of the launch of New Leaf for me. So, I got the game and I was playing it a lot, but I managed to be able to go to Mexico to visit my family around the same time. So I took the game with me. We went on a bus. It was about almost like a 20-hour ride. And I remember I was playing. It was about 7 p.m. I want to say. And I'm just minding my own business, walking around town, talking to the villagers, and all of a sudden I see this humongous tarantula going for me, like go, just literally going to get me, and it scared the living daylights and nightlights and everything out of me. I know, like for sure, I almost dropped my 3DS, and I must have yelled or yelped out loud because my mother, who was sitting next to me, she said, "Oh, what happened? What's wrong?" And I told her, "Oh, I was attacked by a tarantula." And I thought it was hilarious that the character faints when that happens because okay, so I'm fairly afraid of bugs in real life. So if I saw a tarantula that big coming at me, I would probably faint too.
That's pretty great. Yeah, it's funny because I've had a similar experience with that where I believe the first game that had it was Wild World.
Ooh.
And so I remember walking around Wild World, and then all of a sudden, like, something happened and I passed out, like the screen blacked out, and I was like, what is going on? And then it opened up again, and I was in front of my house.
Right.
And I was like, what just happened? Did the game glitch? Did something go wrong? I've never seen this before. And so I realized I was like, I was walking around with my net trying to catch things at night. And so, like, I'm still like, okay, I'm confused at what happened, but you know what? I was a little busy. I'm going to go keep doing what I'm doing. And so I go and keep walking around, and then this time I see it.
Ooh.
I see the tarantula come at me and knock me out, essentially.
Yes.
And at that point I was like, wait, what? You can find tarantulas in this game? I had no idea. Because at this point, like, I'm playing the game when it launched. When did Wild World launch? Was it 2004?
2005. Yes.
Yeah, so, what I can tell you about 2005 is I don't think I had a computer in my house at that point, let alone, well, we probably did, but, we're on dial-up or something. Yes. So there's no point in a computer at that point because it's so slow. For anybody who doesn't know, dial-up was the first way we connected to the internet, and it was terrible. Never do it. What we have now is much better, though people still complain about it. Yeah, we will, at least we never have to go back to those days. But regardless, so this time I see the tarantula, and I'm like, okay, awesome. But also, that's kind of scary that they just chase after you. And so now, from here, I'm like, okay, I'm out here catching bugs. I might as well try to catch this tarantula that's clearly out to get me. And so it became like this, I guess, episode of different hijinks of me failing to catch a tarantula.
Oh, yes.
And I just had no idea how to do it. I'd run out, and, sometimes it'd be hiding, and it'd pop out from behind a house or a tree or something.
Yes.
And then I'd be like, oh, that wasn't fair. Come on. At least, make yourself visible so it's a fair fight or something. And so, yeah, from there I was just like running around and failing left and right at catching these things. And then I think at some point I put my net away, and I noticed I could just follow it around and it won't attack me.
That's right.
And so from there I was like, okay, well, now I can do that, but it's still hard to catch it. How do I do it? But yeah, it was really scary the first time because I really thought, like, I don't know, my game had corrupted or something and it glitched out, and I was afraid that I just lost all of my progress.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because I had no idea what was happening at all. So, yeah, I relate to that story.
Nice. And, that alone is very scary. When there's a possibility of you losing your save data, or just when you forget to save and you know that Reset is going to give it to you next time, that can be quite scary too.
Oh, yeah, it's not worth it.
So my next story of something scary happening in Animal Crossing, it's actually a song. It's the Hypno KK Air Check. And the reason for that, it's a little bit creepy now, but the main reason behind it is because of Ica Village. And for those familiar with Ica Village, I'm sure you know, and you might agree that Hypno KK is kind of a creepy song now. And For those that are not too familiar, I would recommend to check out Ica Village on YouTube. You can also get the Dreamtown code so you can visit. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's basically a scary village with some fairly deep and eerie backstory in ambience. It was really well done, but it's definitely very creepy. And if you go visit and you take your time to soak in the eerie ambience, you're gonna agree that Hypno can be pretty creepy.
Yeah, I think I actually went to it recently for when I do my weekly update videos, I'm always looking at a dream town.
Ooh,
And one of them I actually went and saw Ica Village once again because it'd been a long time since I've seen it.
yes.
Um, but yeah, going through it again, I was like, this is so well done. Like the houses are set up in a way where, it's trying to tell a story and direct you a certain path so you know what to look at first. And yeah, I was overall really impressed with how they did it. And the other thing I want to point out with it is I think some of the rooms use a theremin, which is a strange instrument
Yes.
that if you look it up, you'll see people play some pretty crazy things with it. But it's essentially like a needle attached to some radio thing, and you move your hand closer and further away from it, and it changes the pitch of the instrument.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's kind of like a squealing sound. And as you get closer, that gets higher, and as you get further, it gets lower. And so it works like that when you're walking into a room in Animal Crossing, where you'll start like further from it, and then as you get closer, it just keeps winding up higher and higher to
Yes.
really add to that creepiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that a lot. Yeah, I think there are other like scary towns too. I think that's one of the more popular themes. Just because there's like a lot of really cool stuff that works for that.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. Have you been playing this October at all?
Not much, no.
Yeah, so I'm playing. Today I posted or yesterday I posted an episode just to prepare for like the Halloween stuff.
Nice.
And then tomorrow I'll be actually playing the Halloween thing, so everybody will see it. It's already kind of pre-recorded just because I don't have time to record during the week.
Right.
So yeah, tomorrow I'll have like Halloween festivities up, but yeah, do you I guess remember what you do for Halloween?
Yes, I remember you have to talk to your villagers throughout the month and they tell you what they're afraid of, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if you talk to them throughout the month, they will give you some hints. But I think like on the day, you can trade candy to people,
Right.
and they'll help you out. So that's a good thing. Or you can give like candy and get some of the masks you're missing from Jack.
Yes.
He'll help you out with that. So I guess they made this event, and I don't know if it's different since Welcome Amiibo, but they did make this event so you can essentially like hop in just on Halloween and be able to do everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is nice, but I also feel like it takes away from the reward of people who are actually, I guess, playing every day of the month.
Yes, and paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's funny. Did you have other creepy things that you wanted to point out?
Yes, one that I remember, it's the 3:33 a.m. alien message. So, if you're not familiar, if you play Animal Crossing, I don't remember if it's only on weekends or any day of the week, but if you play exactly at 3:33 a.m. or in the morning, and you're in your house and you have a TV that's on, you're gonna see a weird message from some alien type figure. So it's kind of an Easter egg, I guess. Back when I first heard about it, I wasn't too sure if it was real. It kind of sounded like an urban legend, but it's definitely there. I've seen it at least once, and it's kind of creepy.
I think that's awesome. um, I To this day, I don't think I've ever played at that hour. Like I'm in bed at that point, and so there's really no reason for me to play, I don't know, between like 2 and 5 a.m.
Right.
So yeah, there's some hours of the day that I just never see. And so if I'd never read about this, like I would never know
Oh, yes.
that this was a thing.
Right.
Let alone like how do you get lucky enough to be like in your house at 3:33 a.m. I mean, granted all the shops are closed and everybody's asleep, so there's not really much going on. So you're probably focused on, you know, decorating your place. But I'm just imagining like the first person who's up at that hour
Oh,
decorating their place, and then they put like a TV out, and then all of a sudden it's 3:33 and they see aliens pop up on the screen. That's hilarious to
oh,
me.
yes.
Yeah, I really wonder what their I wish I could have seen like their
Yes.
reaction to that
Imagine, right?
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that's a cool little thing that happens. And it gets me thinking like, I don't know, all of these things I always think of like the next game that's coming. And the first thing I was thinking was just it's exciting to hear the new hourly music. And so I'm wondering like how am I going to listen to all of this music for the first time? Am I
Oh,
going to go and search it out on YouTube? Or am I just going to like try to play 24 hours in that first
nice.
day? You know?
Right.
Um, and then meanwhile, I'll go and check my TV if I have one at 3:33
Oh,
a.m.
that's a good point. Yeah.
and see if there's still like some alien messaging on our cable channels.
Yeah, we should get an update.
Yeah, so I don't know. It always gets me thinking about that and just like what I'm going to be doing in the new game. So what do you think? Are you going to, I guess, listen to the hourly music in game first, or are you just going to feel like I'm never going to play at 4 in the morning? Maybe I'll just listen to it on YouTube.
No, I'll definitely wait until I can kind of force myself to play at all the hours of the day. It's funny because back when this happened, I had a really strange sleep schedule. I would sleep in two parts. It was like 3 hours, and then I would be awake for 3 hours, and then I would sleep another 3 hours. Honestly, I don't know how that started. I'm kind of glad it's gone. It was a little crazy, but if it happens again, I mean, I hope it happens again so that I can play Animal Crossing at these weird but fun hours. Some of the music, I really like the 3 a.m. song. The 2 a.m. it's a little strange. I kind of don't like it.
In which game?
In a New Leaf.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because 2 a.m., that one was pretty funky in population growing.
Oh, I wonder. It sounds like it's intentional then. The
Yeah,
2 a.m.
it
ones.
seems like, I don't know, it seems like you're out to cause some trouble, is
Yeah.
what it sounds like. Because it sounds like mischievous and like, I don't know, it's just pretty energetic for being 2 in the
Yes,
morning.
that's right.
Yeah, so it's a crazy track. But yeah, I guess I don't know. And I feel like once the game is actually out, I'll sort of forget about all the different things I'm thinking about because at that point it's just in front of me and
Yes.
I'm too into that experience, you know? Um, oh gosh, I just can't wait. Like when it's in front of me, I think like everything that I was thinking about the game will just disappear and I'll just play it.
Yeah, and then everything comes as it happens.
Yeah, it's gonna just take me like that. But I'm excited. I'm so excited, and yeah, it's crazy that it's already the end of October, and like this is episode 49. Next time is episode 50, which is
Nice.
insane. Maybe we'll have to do something special for that. um, but yeah, I guess for now, did you have anything else to say about scary moments?
No, that's really all I have. I like you said, there's different towns and different themes that people can go with. It's also scary to not save, so always remember to save.
Yeah, and I guess I had one more thing. I forgot to write this down, but I'm glad I remembered. Originally, I guess there was a point when I was playing New Leaf. I'd picked it up again. It was probably like 2000. 2015 to 2016, like kind of that in between point before, or maybe I was just like at the end of my time where I was still playing it daily, you know? But regardless, I got really into the show Gravity Falls. And so I have a second character in my town that's named Wendy, which is one of the characters that worked in the shop in Gravity Falls. And in that show, they kind of fill their house with different like supernatural trinkets and things. So this time of year is always fun because I remember that place that I'm building, which is supposed to be like the mystery shack from the show. And so, yeah, I'm always like, oh, I should use this like display stuff to show off this like head thing that I got during Halloween. But yeah, that's the other creepy thing that I like to do. I like to make a little creepy gift shop that's inspired by Gravity Falls.
Nice.
Yeah, but I haven't worked on it this year, but you know, it's Halloween soon, so maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll move on to our last little segment where we're going to talk about Animal Crossing advertisements. And there are actually two that I want to talk about, funny enough. One is probably one of the oldest advertisements to exist, and the other is the newest advertisement to ever exist. So a bit of a jump, a bit of a gap between the history of Animal Crossing's beginnings and essentially where it is now, you know?
Yeah, 18-year span.
I can't believe it's been 18 years. They've got to do something big on the 20th anniversary. Like Pokemon got their whole Pokemon 20 thing. I want an Animal Crossing 20. But that's off topic. We'll talk about that in 2 years when it's Animal Crossing's 20th anniversary, everybody.
Nice.
Watch out for that episode. We'll still be doing this. Trust me, we'll be doing this. But anyways, so the first one we're going to talk about is an English language advertisement for Animal Crossing population growing. And I specified English language because this was the first English language ad for the game. Like, prior to this, it was only in Japan. There was nothing... there was just nothing known about the game in other regions, you know?
Yes.
And funny enough, this advertisement, have you looked at it or read through it at all?
Yes.
Cool. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really interesting. The first thing and the biggest thing that caught my eye was the fact that they were calling it Animal Forest, which is the literal translation to the game in Japanese. And you know, that's very interesting. We got Animal Crossing, but it's very likely that we could have had Animal Forest.
Yeah, and that's pretty hilarious that they just like, it was all very literal on the thing. For example, I guess when you get to the bottom, there's a picture of Copper, Pete, and Tom Nook. But then they were just known as Dog, Pelican, and Raccoon.
Yes.
So, yeah, there were some literal things going on in that. It's fun to see, like, there's still some Japanese lettering in the game. They clearly don't have, like, a logo quite yet for the US release. But yeah, it's fun that it's for the N64 version.
Yes.
Because, yeah, for anybody who I guess just didn't know, the game did actually come out on N64 in Japan first, like before it was a GameCube game. And it was very close to like the end of the N64's lifespan, you know? So from there, you know, they moved it over to the GameCube in Japan, and then from that, it finally went to the US. And yeah, I guess from then on, like, more of the world got Animal Crossing.
Yeah. And, you know, now, of course, we know our first version of the game was on the GameCube and it was called Animal Crossing. But this ad shows us that we could have had the N64 version and it could have been called Animal Forest. And I mean, it's funny to think about what could have happened in having evidence that it could have happened. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so, like, one of the cool things about that is, like, the game moves in real time, but back then, I think you had to, every time you logged in to the game, you had to set what time it was. And so, like, it didn't really move automatically because the N64 didn't have an internal clock or anything that it could use.
Right.
And so that also makes me wonder, like, when does the game like realize time has passed when you actually log in, you know?
Right.
Because clearly, like, you log in one day and say it's October 30th, like today.
Mhm.
And then you log in the next day and all of a sudden the game is like, oh, it's October 31st. This and this should have changed by then. And so, like, does it change at that point, you know, when it recognizes what time it is? So,
Right. It's very interesting. It must have a lot of programming magic in there.
yeah, I just have no idea how what is going on there. So,
Right.
I don't know. It's pretty cool to think about that. And another thing I noticed was that they're explaining everything about this. Like, they're like,
Yes.
the time, it's a real time clock and they're real seasons. And they have this whole thing, like an entire example dedicated to what that means. um, I'm looking at it right now. So they write, for example, if it is now 9 a.m. on August 25th, the date and time in the game is the same. You'll be excited to see how things in the game occur just as they do in the real world, depending on the time and season. So, like, that's a very new concept.
Right.
Yeah, and now I'm also checking what day August 25th is in 2019. And that is a Sunday.
Mm.
Unfortunately, Nintendo games used to come out on Sundays,
Yes.
but now they come out on Fridays. So that is not a possible date for the release. Sorry, everybody. I thought I was onto something there. Yeah, did you notice anything else that you wanted to talk about on this ad?
Not on this one, but it's just very interesting, and it's cool to get a piece of Animal Crossing history discovered kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm wondering where it came from because that's a really cool. I want this on my wall as a poster. It looks cute. It's very like kind of rough around the edges too. Like you can tell where there are parts
Yes.
that they clearly don't have all the answers for this yet. But it's cool that they're like thinking about how to present this game to people for the first time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there was one last thing. You needed on the N64. You needed like a memory card in your controller.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so you could save things, and I think if you put different memory cards in a different controller, maybe you could travel to another
Ooh.
town. I really hope. There's been a lot of talk about an N64 Classic,
Yes.
and if that thing has the original Animal Crossing, I'm getting it for sure. Like that's a piece of history to me that I feel like I can't pass up
True.
on. I'm
Yes.
always tempted just to buy like a Japanese N64 with that game, just to play it and experience it, you know?
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I would be very surprised if Japan gets a N64 Classic and it doesn't have Animal Crossing. I think it should.
Yeah, because at this point it seems like it's a part of the identity of Nintendo.
Yes.
Though, you know, it's very region specific for that era, which is strange.
Right.
But, you know, it wasn't too long after that we all got the game. It was just on the GameCube, you
Right.
know? Yeah. And fun fact, the North American Nintendo team added a lot of really cool things to the game that became staples to the series, like specific like holidays and you know just a bunch of dialogue and fun events that are happening. So yeah, lots of props for that team.
Yes.
So the next ad is the newest one, and this was actually an advertisement that was in like a Spanish magazine. Do you have more details about this at all?
No, that's all I heard as well.
Okay, yeah. So it's like in a Spanish magazine. It essentially was just like a photo of Tom Nook and the Switch with that same Animal Crossing 2019 teaser image that we
Yes.
got at the end of the direct. So nothing we've never seen before, you know? Even I have posted at this point like a picture of Animal Crossing 2019 on my Switch just because I was like,
Right.
I can't believe I could see this on my Switch. This is amazing. I was geeking out over that too much. I think it's on my Instagram for anybody who would like to see it. And you can see my awesome customized Joy-Con, which I love.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I chose my red ones for the photo.
Oh, it goes really well with the green.
Exactly. Complementary colors right there. They're across the color wheel. You guys go and learn your color theory. It really helps. So yeah, it's essentially just that, but it had a little saying in, I guess a little bit of ad copy rather. And it says, your favorite town is returning to Nintendo Switch with a new title. Tom Nook, Isabelle, your longtime neighbors, and new friends are waiting for your help in hundreds of activities. And in this case, they said cientos, you know. I guess I always picture that as like kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Exaggerated word?
Okay, yeah.
Like maybe it's like countless, you know?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I think I had that as my original translation, but I was like, maybe I'll go a little bit more literal, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really cool that they're teasing us already with new friends.
Yes.
Oh, I want new friends so bad. So I guess what do you think about this like ad? And, you know, essentially it's so little new things, but they're just little bites here and there.
Yeah, no, but it's exciting. You know, we kind of live for these little bites as we wait for official information. And okay, so we definitely expect a new title for sure. It's safe to assume that we're getting new friends, new villagers. We're also expecting new special or main characters and hundreds of activities. If we take that literally, that's really exciting, and that means that a lot are gonna be added.
I really do hope that like they're just working on tons of things that we can do, especially specifically with things like what we're collecting, you know, for the museum. We've always been able to dig up fossils, catch bugs, go fishing, and collect art. Like, those are the 4 staple collectibles in the game.
Yes.
And I guess I'd just like to see them have something new to add on top of that. Because, like, it's been those 4 things forever. Like, I want to see another activity that leads me to hours and hours of fun collecting and hunting down things and waiting for a new season for new stuff to get, you know?
Yes.
Or racing that clock and going like, oh, this is the last day that I can find this. I have to play at this hour. Otherwise, I'll miss it forever, you know?
Right.
Well, not forever. For a year, which is, that's a lot of time to dedicate to getting something, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, I guess I'd really like to see those types of activities grow. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like, you know, the art takes forever to finish. I think it took me like a good 2 years before I finished the art pieces in my museum.
Right.
But, like, if you just add one more thing on top of everything we already have, I think that's going to be really big for the game, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, I guess what are you thinking for the new game? I know we've only been teased, but you can, you know, feel free to think of anything.
No, it's true, and I want to see more things happening at the museum, like special events or exhibits that happen maybe certain days of the week, or they can change the theme, and it has to be a little bit more than just a basic exhibit. Maybe your villagers can join you, or if it changes depending if you have other human characters playing with you at the same time. So there's a lot of potential there on the museum alone. And of course, there's so many different aspects to Animal Crossing that if they just add one little thing to each one, it extends the value of the series way more. And it's already crazy as it is. So it can definitely go to hundreds for sure.
Yeah, and that's like I'm saying, like it doesn't need much, but like any one thing that is like well built out and planned, like that'll give us so much more to work with. So
Right.
yeah, it's crazy. So what about new friends though? Because we're already getting teased with new friends. What are you hoping to
Yes.
see? Maybe in terms of like villager species or even like a brand new character for the game, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I expect a brand new character. Not sure how that's gonna be implemented, but they always do, and it just makes sense. But new species, I definitely want to see bats. I want to see foxes represented as an actual, species that has villagers in your town. Ah, there's so many others too.
Yeah, I want to see. For the main series, we've never had the OK Motors crew in our town.
Hmm.
And as soon as we saw them in the Pocket Camp game, I think most of us were like, yes, give us those. We want those
Yes.
characters. And, there's still like the opportunity for Nintendo to have some connectivity between Pocket Camp and Switch. Um, so yeah, maybe that through that connectivity is where we see that OK Motors crew.
Yes, for sure. And whatever new feature they add, whatever is going to be the main hook of the Animal Crossing Switch, that I think is what's going to have the new special character. Like we had Lottie when we were doing interior designing in Happy Home Designer. So I expect something like that.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's an idea for something. I want there to be, for example, like a bag shop where you can buy backpacks,
Oh,
purses, I don't know, fanny packs if you want.
yes.
But just like an extra accessory that you wear, and it serves as a utility that lets you carry more items, you know?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So if we see that kind of thing, I think it'll require us to have a new shop. And I think having a shop that's run by like, I know kangaroos are already a species, but it just makes sense to have them be the runner of this pouch shop because they have
Yes.
pouches.
Yeah.
My other idea is if they're not planning on giving us turtles as like regular villagers,
Mhm.
then have a turtle run that shop. Introduce a new tortoise and because they can sneak into their shell and they clearly have an entire house inside of their shell because that's the way cartoons work. But yeah, I would love to see like a new shop owner that is because last time we got Leaf and Leaf is adorable.
Yes.
It's such a great sloth, and then we got Luna, which is
Right.
I don't know what she is, a tapir, I think it was.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so we got some new characters. Even Kix got his own new shop.
Yes.
Um, you know, Lloyd the Gyroid had a shop in City Folk. He never got his shop back in
Oh,
this Animal Crossing game. So
right.
I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of opportunities to like reintroduce people. There's even like who was Frillard. Shrunk learned everything he knows from Frillard, who
Hmm.
is like a chameleon, and his stuff was actually pretty funny. Actually, what kind of he's a weird lizard. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know, there are just so many animals that can open up some pretty interesting shops and give us some cool things to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm forgetting the most important two, Reese and Cyrus. They were
Oh,
introduced in
yes.
that game and they're alpacas. We didn't have alpacas before.
Right.
So, I don't know. There's a lot of opportunities for new friends and I don't know, some of the new friends may mean just like new shops and things that we can do around town.
Yeah, and I think it's time for these species or these types of animals that are only for the special characters to start sneaking into villagers. Like you said, alpacas with Reese and Cyrus. Maybe now that they're not brand new to the game, now there can be other alpacas as villagers.
Yeah, that's true. I do want to see some of those species open up to just being regular villagers in town, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
They can't be the only ones.
Eventually, they're gonna need to. So maybe
Cuz
maybe this is the one.
I'm going to be very sad when they don't let Tortimer return for a game
Hmm.
and then like just there's no more turtles after that. That's devastating in my book.
Right.
Yeah, I guess tortoises. I'm going to get corrected for that. He's a tortoise.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I guess did you have anything else you wanted to say about the advertisements?
I think. we should all be looking forward to something like this coming out of nowhere. There's gonna be, I think that the next way we're gonna find out more info about Animal Crossing Switch is gonna be a leak like this. So any day now we could wake up to a lot of good news, and it's very exciting.
I want to wake up to a Nintendo Direct announcement for November 1st.
Ooh,
And then they're going to show us a trailer of the game.
nice.
I just want a trailer so bad.
Or at least give us the date when they might say you're getting an Animal Crossing focused direct again, and it's
Yeah,
happening in, I don't know, January.
that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind. Um, yeah, I think that'd be great. Sign me up.
nice.
Yeah, so you had a little bit of news before we go into Haken's Villager Corner, and it's about Pocket Camp. Do you want to go over that real quick?
Yes, and we heard that Pocket Camp is gonna get a fairly big update. Although we don't know what the details of the update are gonna be or what's gonna be added or changed. We know it's gonna happen around the end of the month. I heard November 27. The downside to this is that the game is gonna get updated and it's not gonna run so well, or it's actually not gonna run at all on some older versions of the Android operating system. So before you could play the game if you had at least Android 4.2, now you're gonna need at least 4.4. So keep that in mind if you have an older version of Android. The game might not work for you. You might need to upgrade your device or just to do an update. But it's exciting to see what they add to Pocket Camp.
Yeah, I really wonder what they're going to do. I know they're doing like some pretty big things for the 1 year anniversary of the game.
Right.
If you log in every day for like 15 days, they're giving you 10 leaf tickets on every login,
Yes.
which is far more generous than they've been in the entire past year. So
Right.
if you don't play the game, or if you do, definitely get back to it, take advantage of this, buy yourself something nice with those leaf tickets.
Yes.
Though I mean, I'm saying that, but 150 leaf tickets barely gets you anything.
Yes.
So, buy yourself something nice with those leaf tickets plus the other ones that you already had.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because you need like 250 for one of the big packs of cookies, the fortune cookies.
Ooh.
You need 350 for a special item. Right now, there's Jack's Puppet Show theater thing, which is pretty dang cute, I've
Yes.
gotta say. I almost have enough for it, but I'm gonna feel bad going from 350 to
Oh,
0
yes.
once again. So I don't know if I can do that to myself. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they're doing with Pocket Camp, because I've got to say, I've come back to the game. I'm playing this again.
Nice.
Yeah, especially because, if they are connecting it with the Switch version, I want to have some pretty cool things.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I'm back at it. So yeah, let's close out the show with our Haken's Villager Corner. This week, we asked what your favorite season to play, or what is your favorite season to play Animal Crossing?
Nice.
Do you have a favorite?
I do. I think I'm gonna go with summer, and it's funny because in real life my favorite season is winter, like by far. But in Animal Crossing, it kind of bothers me that it's always snowy and it's always super white, and it doesn't really change much. It would be nice if sometimes not the whole ground was covered in snow, and you could kind of tell the graduation. But definitely, fall would be nice as well, but it's a little too orange for me, so I'm going with summer.
Yeah, and well, that's kind of funny because I feel like, you're from Southern California and I've been there. I'm like, you never see the weather change like super dramatically.
Right.
So it's kind of nice to log into your Animal Crossing game and it's like winter there. It's supposed to be winter outside,
Yes.
but not really.
But
So
it's
you get to experience it,
True. True.
But yeah, summer is a fun time to play. You make a lot of money in the summer.
Yes.
It's hard to go wrong. Mine, obviously, it's autumn. I'm playing a lot these days just because it's such a fun time of year to play the game. They have so many things going on, and just I don't know. I like that orange color. It's orange enough for me, I
Yes.
can say.
Nice.
So yeah. So let's get into these. And maybe we'll go back and forth. And
Yes.
yeah, I guess I'll start with Coconut's answer. Coconut said, "This is hard. I need like a month to prepare an answer to these questions. Seeing the grass pop out from the snow in spring is something special, but seeing snow after months and months of grass, magical."
Yes.
So yeah, that I think that's a fun answer because it like captures one of the great things about seasons is that they change, you know, and
Yes.
it makes the world feel different, look different, taste different. I don't know. It makes it just something new for you to wake up to. And so I don't know. I think that's a fun part of Animal Crossing too.
Yes, definitely. Our next answer is by Infinite Mallet, and he says, "Fall is my favorite season in real life and also my favorite season to play Animal Crossing. Summer may have more fish and insects to catch, but fall has the more exciting holidays. However, I think the main reason fall is my favorite season to play is actually because I love real life fall so much. As the nights grow longer and the temperatures start to drop, it just feels so warm and cozy to wrap up inside and play some Animal Crossing." That is true. I feel like fall or autumn is it's like the prelude to winter, to a lot more free time for gaming and for Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and they say something that just like captures what I feel is special about and winter. It's just like it's colder, yes, but overall it just feels so much cozier than the other
Yes.
months.
Yes. It's like a sigh of relief from the crazy heat of summer.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Joe was our next answer, and Joe said, "Generally, I would say fall, but in game, winter just had the most going on. Especially in the original game, you have little campers cooking stew in their tents. You can make snowmen. The holidays are great. My birthday is in December, and New Year's fireworks. Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
Nice.
there's a lot of really cool things happening. I like the tent things." I've got to say though, like nothing captures the first game in terms of that because
Mhm.
during the summer, random villagers would come and camp in your town and they'd be in tents, but during the winter they'd show up and they'd build an igloo,
Yes.
and that was all. That was always a fun surprise.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it makes you feel cold in real life. That's why I do like winter in Animal Crossing. It just carries the coldness.
Yeah.
Our next answer is by Dragonflame323, and he says, "I really love and look forward to winter, but the snow got very tiring after a while. I like the summer season where you can listen to the cicadas. Also just gives me the fondest memories of starting New Leaf." That's a good point. That's when we got New Leaf in June, so
Hmm.
basically summer. That's when we got most of our big time starting New Leaf.
Yeah, it became. I think from that point, like people started thinking of Animal Crossing as like more of a summer game.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it made sense for a game to come out in summer to a lot of people. They're kids, they're on break, you know, and then yeah, because up until then, like we'd get the game for the holiday season, and that was still great. But I think now a lot of people have fond memories of those first few months in Animal Crossing, where the bulk of the growth happened in their town. You know.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I lived in Arizona for a bit, and cicadas are like all over the trees there. So it was
Ooh.
fun to hear them both in
Yeah.
real life and in the game.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so the next answer is from Ariba Derchi, and she says, "In real life, I absolutely love fall. Sweaters, hot tea, pumpkins, the crunch of leaves under my feet, and cooking my favorite dishes for my family are what I look forward to all year. However, in game, my favorite of the year would have to be the first few weeks of April. That's right, the Cherry Blossom Festival. Is
Ooh.
that considered a season? I was visiting another town, and At the time, I had no idea why everything was magical and pink and beautiful, but I have been in awe ever since. Coincidentally, I also married my best friend on April 1st. So there you go. Those first few weeks of April mean a lot. And
Nice.
yeah, I feel like the cherry blossoms were something I always kind of got. I feel like they don't last long enough,
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it comes and goes and it's so like fleeting, but it's great while it's
Yes.
happening.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I do. I want to see them like kind of expand it a little. Sure, it's not seasonal, but come on. It's a game. It's makeup, right? It's make believe.
Nice. Nice. The next answer is by Jamila Khanum, and she says, my favorite season in Animal Crossing is fall. I love the trees and the grass all gradually change color. I love the Halloween event that takes place during fall. I always change my villagers' catchphrases and greetings to "It's fall" or "Fall is here," just so that my neighbors share my enthusiasm for fall. It's also my favorite season in real life. That's cool. I never thought of doing that, changing the catchphrases to reflect the time in the seasons.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I wish I'd thought of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that when I'm playing next
Yeah.
time. Yeah, so our next answer is from Grizzly Nina, and they say, late fall into winter is the best. Mushroom hunting is so fun, and one of my favorite holidays is the Harvest Festival. I kind of enjoy how hard it is, and I always play while watching the parade and cooking pumpkin pie. Then, a few days later, you start to see the first few snowflakes. So cozy. Oh, so many great things explained in this.
Yes.
Mushroom hunting is one of my favorite things
Oh,
ever.
yes.
I love getting the mushrooms. And then Wild World was very unique because there's the Acorn Festival too.
Yes.
So you can find acorns all over the place. Yes, I love all of this. And like seeing the snow before it's like sticking too, that's always
Yes.
really exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't get
Nice.
enough of that.
Our next answer is by Dazed House, and she says, winter is probably my favorite since when I have the most time in real life to play. I also love seeing the snow on the ground and in the trees. And that's true. A lot of people get either full-time vacation during the December holidays or just days off. And of course, the one thing or one of the main priorities is to play more Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and I cannot believe that the game is coming out next year because I'm already thinking like this year, like I started a new job. I'm not going to have a lot of like vacation time saved up for the
Hmm.
holidays this year. So, we're kind of doing it more low key. We're not doing a big trip, like 2 week trip to California like we usually do.
Right.
We're probably just going to go like for a long weekend type of thing.
Hmm.
But next year's going to be perfect because by then I'm going to have a lot of vacation time saved up. I'm going to take my time off and just play the game
Yes.
daily with like no remorse. I don't know.
Right.
It's going to feel so good. Yes, that's going to be the life.
Yes.
Yeah, so our final answer is from Emily with 2 E's, and she says, that's a tough question because I love the cherry blossoms in spring, and I love how sunny it is in summer. I may have to go with autumn, though. I love the colors as well as dressing up my character in a flannel or a leather jacket with some black jeans and steel-toed boots. Plus, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday in real life. Same for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that has to be the best holiday. And as you can see from all the answers, autumn or fall takes the cake.
Yeah, a lot of fans of autumn, and I don't blame them because it is a great time. But I don't know. I feel like Animal Crossing has a way of making every, I guess, just holiday feel special,
Hmm. Yes.
And so, I don't know. It's hard to be disappointed playing the game. Just, yeah, as long as there's stuff to do, I don't know. I don't see how you could complain.
Yeah.
Because there's always stuff to do. So yeah, did you have anything else to say about anything we've talked about today?
No, just waiting for, official news on Animal Crossing or just waiting. So at the most, it's 14 months.
Yeah, we're so close now. 14 months is the maximum amount of time we'll have to wait. And you know what? I feel like October just flew by this year. If it keeps going like that, by tomorrow we're going to be playing this thing. So, oh, I just want to play it tomorrow now. All right, well, thank you all so much for listening. If you want to be part of the conversation on all things Animal Crossing, please join our Discord. I have a link in the description of this podcast. It's totally free to join. You can either download the app or use the browser. Either is fine. You don't have to be a patron. And if you do join, you can get Sergio and my friend codes to play with us on 3DS, which we have to do more of, especially this time of year. It's been fun playing. And if you do want to become a patron, it's totally optional. Please visit patreon.com/ChewyPlaysNintendo. You can, contribute as low as $1 and as much as whatever you want. But, it's your choice. It's totally up to you. And it's mostly just to find support to reach some goals that we have. Like, I want to get my own 3DS capture card so I can give Sergio back his 3DS. And, we could probably do some cool videos together at that point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and one of my big goals is to make, cool Haken, I guess, memorabilia. Things like shirts and posters and, things that I feel people would have fun with. And yeah, so it goes toward that. Recently, I did the math, and all the money that everybody gave added up to how much I paid for the new Haken image. So if you're enjoying that look of the show and want to contribute to that, like I said, it's up to you, but it goes to real things that we're hopefully making the show better with,
Yes.
So yeah, we appreciate the support. We hope we have a lot of cool things for you to enjoy through our rewards. But yeah, if you are watching and listening on YouTube, please leave a comment about what your favorite season to play Animal Crossing is. Is it summer? Is it spring? Is it winter? Is it fall? Let us know. We love talking with everybody about that stuff. And please leave a review of the show wherever you're listening. It helps the show gain some visibility and allows our community to grow. And once again, thank you all for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.